in Ibadan, I remember I was among the maybe about the first person who really raised campaign against sexual abuse. Then in 2014, that was when I started talking about sexual abuse. So people don't talk about it. True, I met people who run NGO before I started mine who were talking about child abuse. And when they're talking about child abuse, they're looking at street children or physical abuse. That was what they were talking about. It was when I joined the NGO group that I started talking about sexual abuse. I'm like, wow, this person is talking about sexual abuse. And then everybody needs to pay attention. Then when I go to churches, people feel like, hey, it's not good for children to know about this thing.
Why?
I remember I went to some school, they were saying that somebody talked to their children at that time, you don't want them to hear too much about it. I said, it's never too much. It's never, we're not teaching them how to have sex. We're teaching them how to say no.
Because this, now, the funny thing, people think that children don't even know about these things, or they don't, things don't happen to children. So let me just quickly share the story of someone that she never really discussed with her child sexual abuse or anything. She had that child before she got married to her husband, and then when she got married to the man was abusing the child, and she did not know. Now she didn't know. She never used to talk to the child about sex or sexual abuse or give sex education. Basically, she never used to do all of these things. Then I can't even remember how the story went. I think eventually when she told the child or something, the man had like really gone far with the child. The man was having actual penetration with the child, and she would go to work in the morning. The man was at home. He would say that, oh, let me stay at home. When the school bus comes and picks her, then I'll go to work. Meanwhile, he was abusing her. So it was one day that the child went to school. The school bus came, and then there was semen on the body of the child, like maybe the child's pants or something. And then the child sat. Maybe her clothes was wet, and then she stood up in the bus when they got to school. And this child was like, okay, like, what happened? Did you pee on yourself? Come here. Then maybe a teacher, people that know what semen is, know what semen is, and then they thought the child was smelling in a kind of way, and then they were like, what happened? And she was like, my daddy, like, your daddy did what? And like, my daddy did what mommy said, something, and the child just went on to say that her daddy did something. Now they called the woman. Now this is another part that I really want us to talk about. Now they called the woman, and the woman said it can't happen, that it's not possible. So she came, she withdrew the child from that school, like because the school called her attention to it. She said her husband cannot do blah blah blah. She withdrew the child from that school. She didn't fight for her child. She didn't do anything about it. And it's just a lot. It's just a lot. Sometimes the times that we parents will discuss these things with the children, it's always like they've already started experiencing. So I like to say that at every time or whatever you decide to discuss sex or sexual abuse or give your child sex education, I feel like you should try to understand what has been going on with that child also. Because if that child has been abused before, there's a probability that the child is not going to tell you that I have been abused. Why? The uncle may either be telling her, keep it a secret, or telling him, because male children also get abused. No. There are stories, countless stories of male children that I know. There are people that I know personally that were abused by their house helps or their aunties.
Most of the time when I go out to talk, most of the men and elderly men says the first sexual experience was
the maid or their auntie, maid especially. So this whole thing, and as much as I've heard a lot of people say several things about sexual abuse, the child does this, the child feels there's something they don't understand. That is why it is an abuse. Like they don't. It's not that there's an age of consent. Like they don't understand the idea behind what you're doing to them. And again, I would also like to say this, there are a lot of people out there that are abusing people's children. They're abusing their nieces, they're abusing their nephews, and they're even abusing your neighbor's children. You need to stop it. Like see, you may never have been caught, you may never be caught, but please just stop it, because in future it will haunt you, it will come back to you. Never leave the mind of the child. Like Mrs Patricia said now, she called him out. She called the man out with her future, like she knew that this is the man that will
when I learned the man, when we were told that that man, Mr. Emmanuel, has died, I felt, wow, good, he has paid for his. That was my reaction in my mind, that yes, God has punished him for everything he has done for me, he did to me. But that was quite, what we are talking about is over close to 40 years, I mean, over 35 years experience that I still have in my brain. Do you understand? So, what are we talking about? Children can never protect themselves.
No, they can't.
They need the adults in their life to protect them. So don't assume your child should be able to say no when you are not taught the child. You don't taught the child the power of no. No is a powerful word. And as a matter of fact, children should appreciate no. Why? Because most of the children, boys who were not taught to appreciate no, end up feeling they are entitled to having sex with some girls. Then to them they want to rape. When the girl says, no, I'm not ready, they want to create a way of raping the child, the girl. The girls who don't know how to say no would feel, oh, I don't want to lose the relationship, let me allow him. No, you don't have to. So we must teach our children the power of no. No is positive and negative. Even if it is negative, doesn't mean the person doesn't want you. It only means that at that point, I don't want that thing you want to do with me. It doesn't mean I don't like you. So we shouldn't feel entitled. The boy should not feel entitled, the men. Because a girl says, I don't want, let your children appreciate no from childhood. So when somebody says, I don't want this, the child, I respect the child's opinion. And it's also important, teach your children to appreciate delayed gratification.
Yes.
When you give your children everything they want, they will assume everything they want is theirs.
What they have, yes.
You know, so if you must see all these things matters a lot. You know, I run a club. There was a particular parent who bring her son. She will pack food like as if they are traveling. You know, she has a 1 liter flask that she will put rice. When you open the rice, you know that the rice was forced into the flask. The fish she will give the child, another cannot finish it. She will still put a box of golden more. She will put every form of food. She can find 3 eggs for that child. And she will tell us that we should feed the child 3 hours. How old? 4 years. I was like, why would we feed the child 3 hours? Is the child sick? I don't know. She wants the child to be healthy. And I said, no, that's not how to feed it. You know, I had a lot of issue trying to educate this woman on how to feed the child and everything. She will come and quarrel with my staff that we are not saying, teach this child to be hungry. You must appreciate the late gratification. If a child is not hungry and you are forcing food in his mouth all the time, he says, Mommy, I want chocolate, to give chocolate. Mommy, I want biscuits, to give. You don't know how to say no. That child will grow up not knowing how to say no. Because he will assume everything I want, I must get it. So a lot of parents, parent their children wrongly.
And I think yes, I think that buttresses the point of children that, you know, especially guys that rape.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. Because they don't understand no.
So when the girl says no to them,
they feel, why would you say no? I must have it.
Yes.
Why would you have it? So we should teach our boys. They don't have a right to any girl's sexuality, any girl's virginity or whatever. If you want a girl, you truly love the girl, the one thing you can use to make that girl appreciate your manhood or your presence in his life is to protect that girl. And every boy must be able to protect every girl. Whether it's your sister or not your sister, every boy must learn how to protect every girl. So why would a boy assume because I'm dating a girl I must have sex with her? No. Why would you?
And I also want to say something. I also want to say this, that people react to sexual abuse in different ways.
Yes.
Now, some people will be abused and they will withdraw, they will hate sexual activities. Some people will be abused and they will always want it.
Yes.
They will. I'm talking about both ladies and men.
Yeah.
Guys, ladies. If like it can happen to like any gender where somebody is abused, the guy can be abused and he just hates women, and then he doesn't want to have anything to do with any woman or anything. And another guy can be abused and then he would just not have control over his sexual urge. Like if he wants sex, just, and this is why some of them will become rapists and even abuse children, because at that point it is, let me just have anybody, let me just put them in, and then they will even abuse, you know, their even sisters,
that's
their
why
brothers.
this discussion will not be, it's not a one-time discussion.
No, it's not.
If you are having sex education with your children, it's not a one-time thing. So a lot of parents find it difficult to initiate this discussion. So what I tell parents is, create every avenue to discuss it. It doesn't have to be at a particular time. It doesn't have to be a special time. So like you are watching this video right away, you can begin to ask your child, did you hear what they said? Did you see this woman? She was sexually abused as a child. Do you even know what sexual abuse is? And that's, you start a discussion already. Somebody is getting married, you can start to use sex education. You can use marriage. Abuse of marriage is to discuss sexual education. You can use somebody having naming ceremony to discuss it. You can use even somebody graduating to discuss it. There are so many ways you can make it fun and it won't look boring and, you know, torturing to your children. And it's not a one-time of discussion. It must be an ongoing discussion, because there are different stages in life. When they are still children, you just say, this is my private bag, nobody should touch it. When they are getting older, when they begin to have, when they are in puberty, when they begin to have sexual urge, and people around them begin to talk about sexual boyfriend, girlfriend thing, you must discuss it with them. So they don't think I have a boyfriend, I must have sex. No. I have a girlfriend, I must have sex. No. So this must be an ongoing discussion. It shouldn't be a one-time of discussion. So it's very important we protect our children. You know, it helps their mind.
So you know, it's been a good time speaking with you, and we can go on and on and on and on, like having this discussion. This discussion never ends. That's one thing I know about like sexual abuse stuff. This, it never ends, because even as we are speaking, even as we are saying this right now, there is still someone somewhere, there is one auntie somewhere, there is one uncle somewhere still, you know, abusing one child somewhere. So people will still watch this video and they'll still say, come, it will just, you know, people are abnormal in this world. That's one thing I understand. They are still watching this video, and like that is the time that their body will begin to, you know, they begin to have the urge, and then they will just call a child beside them. So what am I saying? This discussion never ends. Speak to someone, and I will say this, that every child is your business. Everybody is your business. Because let me tell you something, the world, like, we are growing, the world is evolving, things are happening, everybody is growing. Now if somebody that was sexually abused, that does not have and did not get proper attention or something, you was not properly, you know, attended to, or does not have a good knowledge of this thing, gets married to your child, these things causes, you know, these things causes physical abuse, domestic violence. These things lead to spousal homicide. You know, there are a lot of ways like that we can link these things together. There are countless ways. The effect of child sexual abuse it is like you cannot think of everything. You cannot think of how bad it can get. You cannot think of all at once. So I just want to say to you that every child is your business. Don't say it's not my child or something, because life is a bouncing ball. If it bounces there, it will bounce back to you. So, and this world is a globe, like everywhere is turning. You just always meet someone somewhere, and you think that these things are personal issues, but these are personal issues that personal problems that become public issues rather. So we need to understand that a lot of personal problems will become public issues and they will come back to you. So don't say I'm minding my business. My child is not abused, my child knows this, or my child knows that. How about the child out there? You need to ask questions. You need to be involved in the life of every child around you. So before we round of this session because it's been so good speaking with you. Before we round of this session, I'd just like to ask you, what do you have to say to people that have been sexually abused out there? What do you have to say to them generally? People that, you know, they just feel they've been sexually abused and they've never spoken to anybody about it, and people that have been sexually abused and have spoken to someone about it, but they've still not been able to heal. What word of encouragement, what advice do you have for them, please? Just
all right. I want to say that you need yourself. You are you, and if you don't enjoy life, you know, we only live once, and you can't come to this life and live in pain all through because of somebody else's mistake or stupidity or wickedness. So number one, you need to forgive yourself, and you need to forgive that person, and you need to move on. I heard on the radio somebody who said she was raped 7 years ago and she was still holding grudge over that rape. So you can't hold grudge forever. What I'm going to say is speak up. You need to speak to somebody. But the truth is that you don't know who to talk to, honestly, because sometimes you want to talk to somebody and they want to use it against you.
yes.
You must be careful who you talk to. It's very, very important. Okay, so but you still need to talk to somebody. You need a therapy. So you need somebody you need a psychotherapist or a psychologist. It's not a psychiatric problem, except you are having psychiatric issues because of that. But you need you need a therapy. One therapy you can give that is to go and cry. Listening to me and you've heard my story and you feel, wow, this is my story, this is like me. Go and cry. You need to cry your heart out and get yourself back. Because go to the psychiatric hospitals around Nigeria and across the world. Majority of them was because of an abuse. Somebody abused somebody. Somebody took advantage of somebody and they can't just let it go. Why would you lose your sanity because somebody is stupid? Why? So you need to talk to somebody. The healing starts from talking to somebody. It's even better way to talk to the wrong person than not talking to anybody at all. Another way that helped me was I used to write. When I'm angry, I'll write all my anger on paper because I didn't know who to talk to. When I went to a priest, he used it against me. So who do I meet? I couldn't talk to my friend because it was not a discussion. We don't discuss it. So I don't even know what to tell them. Would I tell them somebody did this to me? I don't know how they would take it.
So I just want to ask you, Ma. So now, are your parents still alive now?
They are very much alive.
And they now know what happened?
I don't know, maybe they've seen it on TV or video.
Okay.
The truth is that I never really spoke with them even till now. They are much old. It's not important to them anymore. For me, I think so. They are old, so why would I make them feel bad about their mistake? As at now, what we just need them is to grow old and until God says it's time and they just die peacefully. I'm not holding anything against anybody, honestly. My heart is clean. I've cried, I've been hurt, I've been angry, I've been depressed, and I've healed. Everybody is forgiven. My father, my mom, whoever did whatever did has been forgiven. And I'm living my life and I'm impacting life. Through this, my experience, I'm into child protection ministry. I engage children. Because of this, I started a club, an after-school club for working parents, because my parents were working, even though they didn't allow me to go to school. The abuse happened during school time. So, because they had to go to work and leave me somewhere, you know, I was abused. So some parents will be at work and their children will be somewhere, they don't know what's happening to their children. Put them in an after-school club where you are sure they can be well taken care of. Some parents say they are working. I'm working because of my children and they don't have 1 minute for their children. So why are you working? Don't lie to yourself. And don't lie to your children. You're working because of your own fame, because of your own position, because of title. You're not working for your children. If you're working for your children, you have to make your work homely. Available for your children is so important. So what are we talking about? Speak out, speak out, speak out. Don't keep it to yourself. You can follow me on Facebook. I do a radio program every Tuesday. It's an online radio program, Family Focus. So follow me on Facebook, Patricia Abokede. That's my Facebook. I'm more active on Facebook for now, more than Instagram, but my Instagram handle is Patricia Abokede. But the Family Focus, why are we doing this? Because we want to be, I realize that it's not just about preventing sexual abuse for children. If the family is faulty, do you understand? Then something is going to be wrong with the child.
Yeah.
I still met a woman came with a situation, a case of abuse of a child. And when we started talking, I realized that it was the faulty family foundation.
But then what makes a family faulty? See, this is a very long discussion. Because I really don't want us to delve into it. But I'm just going to just say that there are several things that make a family faulty. And it all starts from childhood experiences.
Yeah, very well.
Situations, circumstances, all of these things affect your parenting style. You need to unlearn and relearn.
Yeah, I wrote a book.
Okay.
Breaking the cycle of child abuse. You need to get that book. So you can get in touch with him to get it published.
Okay.
Breaking the cycle of child abuse. You see, many our what we become as an adult is a factor of our childhood. When you see an aggressive adult, look at the childhood.
Yes, something
when you
is
see
wrong
a happy
somewhere.
adult, look at the childhood. Many people cannot trace it. Some people are able to trace it and they're able to, work on themselves. But you need to break that cycle. If you have been abused as a child and it's affecting your adulthood, it will affect your marriage, it will affect your parenting, it will affect you even on your job.
Yes.
So affect you all encompassing. You can't really separate your childhood from your adulthood. But you can break it. You need understanding. You need to take up parenting courses if you need to. You need to take life skill classes if you need to. So not just saying somebody abused me and you are crying, winning over it will not really resolve this situation. You need to help yourself. You need to come out of the abusive situation and move on with your life.
So in closing, you're not guilty. The abuser is the one that is guilty.
Yes.
Don't ever think that it is your fault. It is not your fault. It is the fault of the person and the person's parents that refuse to pay attention to their child, who has now turned into a monster and is causing problems in the society. So it is not your fault. You need to get that. Let that one sink into your head that this is not my fault. Don't blame yourself. Don't beat yourself up over it. Forgive yourself. Cry. Speak to someone, a trusted person. And I just believe that with the help of God Almighty, that you'll be able to snap out of it, and you'll be able to snap out of it and even be a blessing to people around you. And also, like, I will repeat this again, every child is your business. Every child around you is your business. There is no oh, this is somebody's child. It is your business. And then if you stay in Ibadan, I'm currently in Ibadan. If you stay in Ibadan and you work, you don't really you come back late or something, it's not just so convenient for you, because the work issues in Nigeria today, I don't even know how to explain it. It's one of the problems that we have. It's one of the things that are affecting families and responsibilities at home, because people want to make ends meet, because they want their children, they want to survive, they want to create a safe financial environment for their children, and then it tends to affect a lot of things. A lot of people don't know how to balance it, right? So if you're looking for a safe place to put your kids, you can contact Mrs Patricia Abokede or Abokede Kids Club. Yeah, so your children can come here. It's a big space here. They have amazing teachers. I've met with their teachers and wonderful teachers. We have Mrs Patricia too. I've known her for quite some time now, and I can say that she's like very trusted. I would not do this normally I won't bring someone here normally just because I want the person to share their story. And if the person now share their story, I'll now share, you should bring your child in. No, I won't do that normally. Because this is my story foundation is very interested in a safe place, a safe community for everyone, children, young, old, adults, female, male, and all of that. So if you are in Ibadan and you need a place to put your kids and all of that, do you run summer extra lessons and all of those things?
Well, what we do basically is to engage children in non-school activities.
Oh, okay.
Non-school activities. But when the holiday is long, like this kind of long holiday, we include maths and English.
Okay, so basically, just reach out to Mrs Patricia Abokede. I believe she'll be able to, shed more light on what she actually means and how she can help you with your parenting style, help your kids to be in a safe environment when you're not there. And I just believe that your child will get help here and support from other kids, make friends, and learn a lot of other things. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button and share our videos, and we'll see you in our next video. Thank you. Have a great week ahead.